That bot will never, never not plague my nightmare. Hi,
That is
everyone.
the first time I've ever heard it, and it honestly made me jump a little bit.
Yeah, no, the Craig bot is a disaster. Anyway, hey, everyone. Welcome to We Stopped Keeping Count episode of the podcast. Um, this is going to be kind of our answer because we've been doing one-on-one interludes with the main characters. So this is kind of the answer to Calem been up to during this couple of. And so to help me answer that, we have awesome guests. I'm going to go in order the chat. Just introduce yourself, what you do, and who you're playing. So just, for example, I'm B, I run the podcast, and I'm going to be playing Calem. Like that,
All right.
that reason. So,
Yeah.
Reef, you're up first.
All right, I'm Alexandra, also known as Reef Shark 54, and I'm playing Karrl, a Dragonborn Bard.
Cool. Next up is Sparks.
Okay, hello, I'm Sparks. I go by Satori on most platforms. I'm playing Eloise, a half-elf sorcerer.
Perfect. And Stellar.
I'm Stellar, and I would be playing Manolo.
Yes. Perfect. Okay. So we're gonna open. The summer months in Timshul have kind of come and passed. And as we hit the start of people start going back to work from their breaks, the hustle and bustle of the town starts picking up as the harvest begins. And for the young folk in Timshul, horrible reality. Is absolutely not event in my shape or form. But for some people in Timshul, young spellcasters, the classes that they take are a bit different. Working with different people who know wizardry since the fall of the Grand Arcanum 50 years ago, the classes have been less rigorous and more so getting you a head start and kind of letting you go out into the world very early into it. Prince Calem himself usually has to run class because that many wizards or sorcerers in Timshul, honestly. Most folk are just so as we hit the first day of young class for up and coming spellcasters, Calem, through biting anxiety, has commandeered a small little hut towards the end of one of the neighborhoods, small buildings that has been turned into a makeshift classroom. I sent you all the map earlier. There's bag chairs, cute little rugs, some windows, bookcase, cubby, toy box, because Calem just doesn't expect what he's getting. So, cutting inside, Calem is counting the books, making sure everything's right, and his little pseudo-dragon familiar Ernest perches on his shoulder. This pseudo-dragon kind of flicks at the ponytail Calem has to annoy him. Calem shoos him off and opens the door. Welcome to your first day, new. And what does he see in front of him?
Before him stands a relatively tall for her age, 16-year-old half-elf. She has long, kind of flowing, reddish, fiery hair that fades to a yellow, and her dress and her whole attire really mimics that whole color scheme. She has bright green, kind of nervous-looking eyes. She keeps fiddling with her gloves, her white gloves, and her hat is actually so comically large that you can't even see all of it through the doorway.
I love
And
it.
she's kind of just standing there staring at him.
Calem gives her a wave and just goes, "Aren't you a little for a intro to magic course?"
I get that a lot. She
I'm
starts to
sorry.
fidget a bit more.
Oh, I'm so sorry. No, it's okay. Here, come on, take a seat. I'll happily help you. I just, pardon the maybe in poor taste decorations now. Because there's just like a lot. Rowan probably helped him make little designs. They're just like little kids, you know. You know the in-school
no,
banners.
no, it's all right. I think it's adorable, honestly.
Oh, well then this will work out great. Just find a seat, either at one of the desks or the beanbag chairs. Those are comfy. Whatever suits you. This is first day. Be super casual. Okay, just helping you glean.
Question.
Yeah.
How tall is the doorway?
It is. See, okay, I need to. Logistically speaking, there are like a lot of bigger races in Timshul. You know, there are adult half orcs and Goliaths in the Arctic setting because they're cool with that.
Mm-hmm.
So most of the buildings are probably built with that in mind.
Oh, okay.
So like,
I'm also like a kid, so I probably wouldn't have to duck. But I just think it would be funny if I did.
Yeah, you're still a young Dragonborn, but I could see you being maybe like, you know, like you could probably jump up and touch the if you jump, you know?
Yeah. Okay.
You know, that's kind of how I'm imagining. If you like took a running jump to it, you could hit the top of the doorway and just kind of, you know.
In the background of all of this, Eloise walks over to one of the desks and kind of looks at it for like a small millisecond before realizing the desk is a little too small for her and just kind of casually walks over to a beanbag and awkwardly tries to cross her legs when she sits down and completely fails.
You just hear like beanbag noises as like her legs keep moving it up and down. Anyway, yeah, I guess that leads right in. Reef, who does he see next? Like walking in right behind Eloise.
Karrl walks in, and he looks at the desks immediately. He looks at the chairs. He immediately knows he's not going to fit on the chairs, so he looks around to make sure he's in the right classroom.
Calem just goes like, "Oh, hi. I'm sorry. I should have."
He walks out the door, checks the classroom number, and then comes back in.
Hi. Yeah, this is Intro to the Arcane.
Oh, excellent. At first I thought it was the wrong room.
Would you like to describe a little bit of how Karrl looked physically speaking?
He is wearing his back to school or his new school outfit, which is, I guess, basically what he's wearing in the picture, which is a colorful vest and some colorful fantasy jorts.
I love that.
I love him.
And he's a golden dragonborn, yeah?
He's a golden dragonborn, and yeah.
Perfect. That's perfect. Yeah, I think the comedy of him being this big, well, you know, still young, but still dragonborn, even for their age, are pretty big.
Yeah, he's just a real big boy with jorts.
He's with good jorts, yeah.
Good jorts, man.
He cut them himself. Anyway, he went through all the steps listed out by the Grand Wizard Brian.
No blood involved.
No blood involved in the jorts.
Hopefully.
So as Karrl takes an awkward beanbag seat, Calem like kind of peeks around, and at the very end, like when he's about to close the door, probably running up a little late. Stellar, would you like to describe Manolo?
All right, so this boy just kicks the door and just says, not knowing that Calem was there, and just says, sorry, hola putos.
Takes a little
Eloise majorly jumps when the door is kicked open and lets out a little
Calem, like, you just hear like, I wonder who's still
And so Manolo looks at the room and he's like, the fuck is this?
May I ask a question?
Yes, you may.
Did the door get kicked into Calem's face?
Absolutely.
Good.
Have you seen Calem's pointy nose? Yeah, not.
It's amazing. His nose isn't crooked.
Karrl yells, I cast healing word, but doesn't actually cast the spell because, like, he just says, "I cast healing word."
Calem just like puts a thumbs up out like from behind the door. It's like, good job.
Wait, do I
Proud
even
of
have
you.
healing word? Yes, I do.
Eloise
But
lets
I
out a
don't
small
cast it.
golf clap for Karrl out of pure politeness.
As the
So-
door swings back eventually, Calem like un-2Ds for a moment,
Oh no.
pops back in animation wise and just shakes it off a little, like, hi, man.
He looks at Calem like, "Oh, hey, bud. Didn't see you there."
Clearly.
So,
You probably didn't see him because you kicked the door in his face.
yeah, maybe. Anyway,
Mhm.
so what's this? What is all this, my friend?
This is. Aren't you here for the magic class, Manolo?
Yeah, not a daycare.
Just a little bit of Calem's sanity is lost at that moment. But
In that
I-
moment, Eloise kind of panics and starts muttering to herself, like, oh god, am I in the wrong place? Is this a magic daycare?
he just like his eye twitches a little. He's like, "No, this is the right. This is the class, Manolo. I just usually in years past, the groups were just a bit younger, and so I tried to be prepared. In a few weeks, I'll have things the level you guys are at. I promise."
Sounds good.
But in the meantime, just gotta grin and bear it. He just takes a seat as Manolo is given time. Calem does point out that Manolo, please leave your guns in the cubby.
Well,
Guns?
what if there's an emergency?
Leave your guns in the cubby, Manolo.
Carl,
But
Carl
Calem-
asks, do I need to put my recorder in the cubby too?
No, you're gonna use that for casting your spell.
Oh, cool.
Is my hat too big? Should I put my hat in the cubby?
Do you
No,
want
it
your
won't
hat?
fit in the cubby.
I
The
I
coat
like
racks
my
are
hat on my head.
The coat racks are for little kids.
True. Yeah, no. Calem's just like,
I don't think my hat would fit any of those.
yeah, probably
Neither
not.
would
No,
my
you can
guns.
keep it on your head if it's comfortable for you. It's a comfortable place, and I want you guys to get to kind of feel at peace here. I'm trying to build a positive space. Okay. Manolo, he points you to one of the beanbag chairs.
He just goes ahead and sits on one like a grumpy boy.
And as Calem takes a seat on like probably big old rocking chairs, So everyone, welcome to Intro to the Arcane, young adult, apparently, course for beginning magic. I don't know. He's just like looking through. I could. Okay, first of all, maybe you guys would like to introduce yourself to your classmates. Here,
Oh.
I'll go first. I'm Calem. I'm an elf.
Hi, Calem.
Hi, Calem.
Calem.
Oh God. He just has like flashbacks to his first adventure. But he's like,
This is Adventurers Anonymous.
yeah, I'm an elf, and I like mint chocolate chip ice cream. So you guys can go on ahead. Just your name, maybe what kind of magic you, and like one fun fact about you.
Eloise kind of anxiously looks around to see who's going first because it's definitely not going to be her.
Karrl just looks around and then realizes nobody else is talking and then just says, "Hi everyone, I'm Karrl.
Hi, Karrl.
Hi, Karrl.
My mom wanted me to be a fighter, but I'm a bard, so I'm gonna be a bard. And I have this recorder, and that's my arcane focus. And my favorite ice cream. I like all the ice creams.
I like your recorder.
Thank you. It's I can do magic with it.
Ooh.
Great. Awesome. Thank you, Karrl. Who would like to go next?
I guess I'll go. So, my name is Manolo Gabriel Joaquin Alejandro Carizales. But you can just call me Manolo.
Hi, Manolo.
Hi, Manola.
Yeah, I like guns.
I think that
That's
was
all.
evident. Oh,
What's your favorite ice cream flavor?
Mm,
I
I'm
think ice cream melts around him.
in. Yeah, it kind of does.
Have
What
you ever
about ice cream
tasted before,
soup?
though? Like melted ice cream?
No, not really.
What do you have for dessert? Oh,
You know, sweetbread.
oh. Maybe one day we can bring some in. We can try it.
Oh yeah, my mom makes the best.
That might be
Perfect.
nice.
Yeah, like an extra snack. Yeah, okay. Lastly, I
Oh,
guess that's you, Eloise.
yeah, I guess it's my turn now. Hello, my name is Eloise. I
Hi,
want to learn
Eloise.
more. Oh,
Hi,
hi.
Eloise.
I want to learn more about fire. Um, and I really like mint chocolate chip ice cream.
It's my favorite too.
Yay!
Yay.
And
Um,
and and that's all.
Perfect. See, you guys are already starting to get to know each other. So, let me just quickly go over what I think we're gonna do this year. We're gonna talk about arcane focuses, getting familiars, things like that. He just kind of pauses a bit and just turns to you all and just says, "So, in doing so, all of you guys are gonna learn how to hone your magic a bit more by the end of the semester. So that's good."
Yay.
Hooray!
Sounds
He's,
good.
he's
So, is
so
there anything you
enthusiastic.
guys already want to know? Is there a spell you think you have and are itching to hone? Just
I
to
can
help
play
you
hot cross buns on the recorder.
do that. I'd love to
Eloise
see it.
is really interesting in just anything involving fire, pretty much. She also really is enamored by the spell Dancing Lights.
Nice. Yeah. Karrl, are you actually gonna play?
Do I need to roll to play hot cross buns?
No, I was just asking because I had a goofy idea.
All right. Yeah, I'll
So,
play hot cross buns.
you play
Roll
hot
for
cross
buns.
and your focus does go off, though you're not trying to cast a spell. Trying to
Yeah.
play on it. And okay, Karrl, magically poof yourself 60 feet closer to the front.
Closer where?
You poof yourself from your seat, right to the front of the
Eloise golf claps again.
Calem just goes, "Oh, look at that! That was really good."
Karrl just has this look of shock on his face because he didn't know he could do that.
What spell were you using?
Hot cross buns?
Is that a spell? I want to learn hot cross buns.
Okay, so you put your fingers on
You show
these
them how?
notes. Yeah.
Oh, I don't have a recorder though. Hmm.
Can I cast a cantrip? Can I cast minor illusion to make it look like
Yes.
to make it
Yeah.
look like
Yeah. Totally fine.
now you have an illusory recorder.
Ooh. I
Um,
wonder if it works like a real one.
Eloise, as you touch this recorder, this recorder, it it kind of goes through your hands a bit, but you still act like it's there.
I can do it in spirit.
I
Do I need to roll to demonstrate, like, how to play it?
guess that'd be a performance thing, right?
Okay,
Yeah.
what is my... Let's see my performance.
It would be your charisma if you don't have proficiency.
Oh, I have a +5 modifier.
Oh, fuck yeah, then go for it.
Please roll a 1, please
20
roll
and
a
add
1,
5.
please roll a 1, please roll a 1, please
No.
roll a 1.
It was
Oh.
I rolled a 21.
What the fuck?
Ooh, so 21 plus mods? Or?
No, 16 plus mod. So that's 21 total.
Gotcha.
Apparently all you need to do to roll well is for me to chant roll a 1 in the background.
I guess so.
It just would have been really
So
funny if you
you
had
just
rolled
like you expertly demonstrate to everyone how to play hot, and it's like the best hot trust anyone's ever heard.
Eloise is inspired and like brings a huge puff of air into her lungs and goes to play a recorder, forgetting that it's not real, and just awkwardly kind of blows into the air and looks super disappointed afterwards.
Oh.
Calem just goes like, I can see about getting extra recorders if that's something you guys want to do. But no, that was very good, Karrl. Good job.
Thank you. I was
Uh,
practicing it like on my entire walk here.
And it paid off. See, practice is a really good thing. When I was your guys' age, first spell I learned how to do this. And he snaps his fingers and these little like light appear and start like dancing about.
Whoa.
Ooh.
And
Eloise like just gasps in pure joy, and she keeps just like following them around, and she's super happy seeing them.
and to continue a podcast tradition that a godly curse. The casting of dancing lights starts from nowhere, playing of Death by Glamour. Oh, I hate that. So just
Eloise kind of jumps, and then after like a good solid 20 seconds starts awkwardly tapping her foot without even realizing it.
yeah, Calem just dispels it and just goes like, so the fact that I am where I am shows that everyone can progress because I am far from the best with or anything like that. So, Calem looks at his like notebook. Just, you guys have time right now to relax because I know new place.
Hey, Calem? How old
Yeah.
do you think we are? How old do you think we are,
Dead
Calem?
silent.
I don't want him to embarrass himself.
He's just like, well, see, the class was made with the intention for them being very young. You're a bit older than I anticipated, but I could see you guys being maybe 12, 13?
I'm 13.
Eloise goes into a long, elapsed silence.
And I know Manolo's a bit older than that. They're just here because they have never really learned much magic.
You can like see Manolo, like his eye twitching and just looks very irritated.
What about you, Eloise?
I'm a late bloomer. I'm 16.
Well, that's okay. Anyone can learn any magic at any age. I'm sorry. This seems really. Last year I had a bunch of younger kids. There was one named Arlen, very young. A bunch of. I was just trying to go off what I thought. Okay, so I'm sorry. I promise. Like I said, a few weeks we'll edit things up, make things a bit more prepared for everybody. You know?
Yes,
But-
sir.
You don't need to call me sir. You can just call Calem. Fine.
But that's impolite. You're my teacher.
Yeah, but like, I'm also a prince, and I let everyone call Calem anyway. It's just more personable.
Okay.
If that's comfortable for you.
Yeah, I'll just have to get used to it, Calem.
Yeah. See? Progress. He then just, like, set his note one more time and just kind of gives a beleaguered sigh and chucks the book. that is of no use to me anymore. But yeah, no, let's take a little bit.
Karrl picks up the book and reads the title. What does it say?
It's like, it just says, like, lesson plans, and only like one page has been written, and it's like happy little like it's in Calem's handwriting. Okay, first day plans. You got this, Calem. You did it last year, and you only cried once.
Oh my gosh.
Eloise walks over to start reading it because she's curious, and when she does read it, she turns to Calem and she says, "It's okay, Calem. I cry a lot too."
Oh.
Great. And the rest of it continues like, they might be younger kids, but that's okay. You're ready for it. Last time you had older kid stuff and a young kid came and really wanted some toys, so you got some toys. You're ready for anything.
Anything.
And it just goes like, first of all, icebreaker games. Ask Rowan. Then it's like, basic magic studies, question mark. Free time, snacks, magic studies, question mark.
Is Calem just getting more and more anxious in the background as they continuously read what his plans were?
Yeah. And he just goes like, so, there's some there if you want to read some books. And you can see he's like dead inside now.
Eloise tries to comfort him, but it's in the same comfort as the crying comment where she's trying really hard, but it just makes him feel much worse in the end.
Yeah, she's just like, it's okay, Caleb.
Karrl just awkwardly puts up 2 thumbs.
Caleb gives them a thumbs up back. He kind of goes like, the bookcase is right there. Yeah, if you guys actually want to go over there, if you want, I'm not going to force it. But if anyone does, how it's going to work is to pluck out a book at random, just roll a d10. And that's the one that looks like a demonic Beyblade.
Did someone say Beyblade?
Oh, God. Can we not talk about the cartoon where Moses and the Beyblade? I was shown that in...
I think we should talk about that cartoon with Moses and the Beyblade.
I really don't want to. So yeah, if you guys go up there, just roll d10.
I rolled a 2.
Okay, so you just like randomly grab a book, trying to make Caleb better.
Oh, are we rolling for something?
Just
Karrl?
If you want to go grab a book, you can roll a d10. You're just rolling for a random pun.
Sure. Hold on.
You have a lovely story.
Why the hell not?
About a sentient plant, like really like a young half elf, and it's called the Giving Treants.
I rolled a 10.
Okay. You have a lovely story about friendship between 2 amphibious friends called Grung and Bell.
I love that.
Eloise like slowly puts her reaches for the spine and pulls that out, and then she has a little gasp and she was like, "I loved this book." Like when she was little. And she sits down and she eagerly starts reading it again.
Calem with like hands in his head, down. Thanks.
Poor Calem.
What about Manolo?
He got an 8.
He got an 8. So when Manolo probably like begrudgingly snatches a book, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's pissed off right now.
There's a lovely story about a rodent folk really like sweets, called If You Give a Mouse Folk.
B, I think I might be in love with you. I love this.
And you just see Calem just like, they may not be at your reading level, but I can get better books. I have a friend who works in the library.
Oh my gosh.
It's still fun to go back and read some nostalgic things.
Meanwhile, Karrl is sitting on the beanbag trying not to like just absolutely break down crying at the Giving Tree end.
Calem
Eloise
sees
notices him almost breaking down crying and awkwardly reaches out a hand to pat him on his shoulder.
Oh.
He wipes away his tears and smiles.
Oh,
She awkwardly smiles back, but you can tell that it's maybe a little forced.
He puts
Aw.
2 thumbs up awkwardly and then dabs.
She
Oh my
she looks at the gesture that he just made, having never seen it before in her life, looks awkwardly down at her own arms, and then tries to recreate it. Can I roll for that?
roll performance to dab.
This is hilarious.
Okay. She got a 7.
I don't
She got
don't
a 7
know
for
how-
dabbing.
I don't know how you can fuck that up.
She fucked it up.
Okay, I think what you do is you do that thing that that Griffin did in that one video where he just instead of doing it once, they just flip from arm to arm to arm to arm to arm to arm to arm. Like they don't get it to motion.
Another version is that she slams her nose into the crook of her elbow so hard that she accidentally hurts herself.
Oh no!
She does that, grabs her nose, and Calem's just like, "Oh, I got that, and he just books it out of the classroom. He's like, "Be good while I'm gone. I'm gonna go grab some stuff from Rowan. I'll be right back."
Karrl
He's giving-
says,
Ow.
again, I cast healing word, but doesn't actually cast anything.
Actually,
You're doing
Wait, am I
great,
pulling a
pulling
Karrl.
D20?
order?
roll me a d20, Karrl.
Oh, okay.
Just a random d20. Just this.
All right, let me. Wait, what's my modifier?
This is just flat d20. There's this is just a story progressing one, so I'm not intending
Oh, this
for
was
anything.
it was a 14.
Okay, so here's what happens. You say, "I cast healing word," and nothing happens. But you look down at your recorder, and you just kind of pick it up. And this time, you say, "I cast healing word," and play hot crust buns again. And you do it. You do cast healing word. I'm not going to actually have you burn any spell slots for it, though, because story progression purposes, I'm not going to take that from you.
Hot
But just,
healing buns.
Uh,
Hot
But yeah.
healing buns.
Eloise, you just feel like your nose, which was bleeding a few seconds ago, just get better.
Oh. Oh, good job, Karrl.
I didn't know I
think
could
it
do that.
worked.
Whoa.
Well, you can.
What's Manolo up to while you are just freaking out about stabbing pain?
He sees this and he's like, no, this is how you do it. And he does as well. Teaching her how to dab. It's ridiculous.
Oh my god! See, the only reason I made Eloise because they specifically said they'd never seen it before. So if Manolo has seen that before, I won't have you.
Good.
Eloise tries again, but much later this time, and manages to do it slow enough to not look great, but slow enough to not hurt herself at the very least.
Calem runs in with some paper towels, fantasy paper towels, and just Eloise,
Karrl fixed it.
great. He just puts them on one of the desks. Cool, awesome, wow, good job, Karrl.
Are you okay?
I just had to run across town. No, I'll be okay.
Oh,
And he just sits in his
Shouldn't-
chair and just looks over.
shouldn't you have paper towels and stuff in here?
It's the first day. Cut me some slack.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. It's okay. I didn't mean to sound rude. Just.
Manolo goes over to Caleb like, hey, bud, you should probably sit down.
He
Eloise,
does.
Eloise puts her hands out like she wants to try and give some kind of comfort, but then awkwardly just lets them fall to her sides and kind of shimmies out of the way for him to go sit down.
He sits on his chair and just breathes a little bit and just goes, "Okay, so Karrl, you cast healing word. Good job, bud. I'm proud of you."
Thanks. Thank you.
You get a gold star.
He puts it on his vest.
Yeah, he has a little star sticker on his vest. He's just like, maybe I should not have taken advice from Rowan. I'm kind of starting to feel that now. As he just kind of slips through like an actual. He just goes like, so is there any spells you guys think you know, like Karrl with healing? That you need some help refining?
I think I know dancing lights.
Okay. Let's see it.
Oh, okay. And she tries to cast dancing lights.
Okay. And that's a cantrip, yeah?
What am I doing?
Yeah. That's let me just check something. I was trying to see what the spell does. I'm just trying to check if you need, No.
You're cutting out a little bit.
Yeah, no, where are you putting them? Where are you putting the light?
Just in the middle of the classroom.
Okay. So these 4 little torch-sized lights appear in range. Do you want them to look like torches, lanterns, or orbs?
What was the last option?
Orbs. Like colored orbs.
Orbs.
Okay. What color are they?
They're all red, orange, yellow, and strangely, there's one that has like a kind of purplish tint.
Okay. And so those 4 little orbs appear and start spinning in a circle. And while Lena's and apparently Calem play Death by Glamour, is there a song you want your dancing lights to play? Do they dance?
It plays this like strangely calming little melodic tune. It sounds like it would be played on a kalimba.
Oh, cute. So that happens, and they dance in time with the music, so it's much more slow and methodical. And Calem's like, see, that's great.
That's most of what I can do, though.
I'm sure you can do amazing things. I think the thing is, Karrl and Eloise and Manolo, I think what you need to find is your spell focus. Like, Karrl found his recorder, and now I think, Karrl, how did you cast it? Did you have to play a song?
Yeah, I played Hoskarl's Buns.
And that healed me.
So what?
Hot healing buns.
Hot healing buns. He actually takes a note of that and just closes the window. So what I think is the case, Karrl, is I think to cast your spells you need to use your instrument.
I've been trying to learn Mary Had a Little Lamb.
Okay.
Oh, maybe different songs you learn are different spells.
Different spells? Let me write this down, actually.
So, yeah, as for you, Eloise, your magic is more innate, yeah?
I think so.
So what you need is something to channel your magic, yeah?
Yes.
Okay. Let me see. And Calem just go. If you want an arcane focus, he thinks about it for a second. We can make that happen for you. He says, so you're gonna want an arcane focus. So that in out of game terms, an arcane focus can be a wand, a staff, a rod, a crystal, or an orb.
Mm-hmm.
So Calem would tell you this, and I guess the question would be which one would you want, Eloise?
Eloise? I feel like a small wand. Something that wouldn't hinder her moving around or anything.
Okay. So, what I think would happen here is Calem would nod and probably go into the back of the classroom where, because this is a school for young magicians, he probably expects that not everybody has the spell focus,
Mm-hmm.
So he looks around a little bit, and within a few seconds, he pulls out this little wand for you.
How little is the wand?
Why do you got to do this to me? Here, all right. All right,
Because
you know
I'm a
what?
curious creature, B.
You know what? I'm gonna roll. If it's low, it's meant for a baby. If it's like a good enough roll, then he has variety enough for different heights.
Please be one.
I rolled an 11, so maybe
Yes!
it's a little too small, but not much.
Ah, perfect. Okay, she kind of takes it in her hand and she like haphazardly waves it around, and thankfully nothing like fizzles out of it or anything. She's kind of just getting a feel for it.
Okay, so with your spell focus, Eloise, you can now cast spells as normal, the way you normally would as a level 1 D&D character.
Nice.
And Karrl,
Mhm.
Calem would work with you next, and he'd say like, "So, do you think it's a different song for a different spell, or do you think it's more like you want to cast a certain spell and place something? Do you know?"
I think for game. I don't know. Both of those sound good. I think as he's learning to do magic, I think it might be different songs. Or he thinks it has to be different songs, but in reality, it's just whatever spell he wants to cast. He just thinks
Okay.
it has to be different songs.
Okay, so how we'll say this is you can cast spells like with sparks, you can cast spells as normal, you know.
Mhm.
But when you cast a different spell, if you want to, like, you could just say you cast it, and we'll just accept that. But
Mhm.
if you come up with a good like song that would play on the recorder during that, then feel free to say so.
Oh, okay.
So what I think happens is, you do try playing "Mary Had a Little Lamb,"
Mhm.
and what other spells does Karrl know?
Um, I have. What are my? Let me just go to spells. I have Mage Hand and Minor Illusion. Those are cantrips. And then I have for my first level spells, I have Charm Person, Healing Word, Tease Hideous Laughter, and Thunder Wave.
So you can. Okay, here's what happens. Calem has you play "Mary Had a Little Lamb," and
Mhm.
as you hit "White as Snow," this bolt of just thunderous power pushes from your flute, from your recorder, and
Oh
it hits
no.
this wooden chest that's in like the corner of the room, and it hits the chest, pushes the
Mhm.
chest 10 feet back into the wall. The chest plops out, and out of the chest comes kids' toys.
Eloise, who had gone back to reading her book quietly as Calem went on to Karrl, kind of looks up for a second and just kind of stares at the toys, not kind of putting together how they all got there.
Manolo looks at it and is like, he whistles like
That's
nice.
a lot of toys.
Just to give some examples, out comes a set of jacks, you know, the little metal jacks.
Mhm.
A
Mhm.
Oh,
baseball bat
nice.
and a baseball come out of there.
Don't let Manolo touch those.
It's a
There's a
surprise tool that can help us later.
He goes ahead
there's
and steals one.
there's a couple of bouncy balls that just like that have fallen out of the chest and have started like hitting the ceiling, hitting the floor, hitting the ceiling. Those little plastic ones have some fucking power.
Yeah.
Uh, if anyone remembers the fucking weasel balls,
Yes.
Oh my god.
when that falls out, like one hits the floor and it just starts moving around the classroom.
Are there any worm on strings?
Oh, absolutely.
Yes.
Good.
There's like
I want Eloise to pick up a worm on a string and just kind of be poking it like she's never seen one before.
it's a pink one, and there's also like some different like stuffed animals. There's like some owl bear stuffies, some there's like a little griffin stuffy.
Oh.
And this particular griffin stuffy looks like it's meant to like hold something.
Mhm.
And further inspection, would anyone? I guess yeah. Okay. Further inspection would show on the bookcase there's a book titled "Don't Let the Griffin Drive the Cart," and
I
and
love
you
that.
and you think that this is the griffin from that story, and it's meant to like wrap its arms around the book.
Mm-hmm.
But Calem separated them.
Okay.
There's also a stuffy of Grung and Bullywug.
Do they have Velcro hands?
Oh yes,
I
absolutely.
make them hold hands.
Yes.
Oh,
Because they're friends. There's also like there's just like assorted stuffies, there's probably even like a beholder one that's somehow still kind of cute. Because even though beholders are ugly, this plushie's kind of adorable.
Mm-hmm.
There's kind
Eloise,
of a plushie
Eloise
Drago.
pokes the beholder's eye and it makes a squeaky sound.
Yes.
And her eyes sparkle and she's just enamored with this little beholder.
And just like assorted other toys. I'll let your imagination race on what kind of toys could be in there. Probably like toy knights instead of toy soldiers.
Mm-hmm.
There's a dragon chest set in there, where all the pieces are like small and plastic instead of a more refined set. Just stuff like that. There's a dice set in there. Calem just looks at all of you and is just like, yeah, so if you ever want to play with those on our downtime, if any of those are interesting to, oh god.
Karrl goes over to the chest and picks up the D20 and he rolls it. And it's a 10. And he's like, this probably doesn't mean anything within the realm of this universe.
Calem just goes, how astute of you, Karrl.
I want to assume that Calem's previous "oh god" was because Eloise is now insistently poking the beholder's eye and it keeps squeaking, and at some point Calem just like casually tries to just take it from her.
Oh no, now Calem's full focus is putting the toys back in the chest.
Well, in that case, she's just loudly squeaking in the background.
I love that.
Does Manolo have any other toys?
No, he's just kind of there, like, kind of waiting, like, when this is gonna start.
I'll sweeten the deal for Manolo a little bit. There's a plastic gun. There's like a little Nerf gun.
There's a little plastic gun?
There's like a little
I'm
toy
too
gun.
cool of a kid for toys. Oh my god, is that a toy gun?
Is that a toy gun? He takes it. He's like, I mean, it's not a real gun, but he shoots it.
Are
It's
you
just like-
facing gun withdrawals?
Are you shooting it at something or someone, Manolo?
What is the thing that Eloise is holding?
The plushie beholder?
Okay, yeah, he shoots that like right in the eye, like, and he just
Okay,
says,
roll a
bullseye.
d20. Roll a d20.
Oh man.
I'm gonna roll.
yeah,
We're gonna roll to hit on with this toy guns with this foam dart.
Oh man, I hope this works. Please. It's an 18.
Yeah, you just this Eloise, as you're squeaking the beholder, this foam and Velcro dart just right into its eye.
It lets out a really loud squeak, and Eloise kind of jumps and drops it on accident.
And on dropping it, just like a half squeak.
And then he just says, "It's new."
Calem looks at his watch. Actually, it's 11:30.
Just Caleb, don't ruin the moment.
Eloise kind of absentmindedly is talking to herself again. She's like, how hard are these bullets? Should these be for children? How hard are these bullets?
Calem just also notices there's a cowboy hat. And so
Oh
he
no.
takes it and just
Oh my god.
kind of comedically flops it on Manolo.
Oh yeah. Rad.
Eloise silently walks over to Manolo and just kind of stares at him for a second before slowly taking the cowboy hat off him, taking off her hat, replacing their hats. And then she just kind of looks up at the brim of the hat and she's like, oh, I can actually see with this one on.
Oh my gosh.
Karrl, you just see your two friends switch hats.
Mm-hmm.
What do you do? And also you have this, I think you took one of the things, right?
Yeah, I guess I have the rest of the dice too. And I'm just sort of absentmindedly rolling them.
the click-clack noise.
Hmm.
I imagine they're more like Monopoly dice, but there was a d20 in there for some reason.
Oh yeah,
And
it's fantasy Monopoly. It has d20s instead of d6s.
D6. I love that. I'm moving 15 spaces. I now control the Feywild. Fuck you.
Fantasy Monopoly, and all the dice are like cheap plastic dice, and then the d20 is this sleek metal die.
There's a card game in there too, with like numbered cards with different colors. And like as one of you goes to pick it up, Calem goes, "No, don't touch that." Many a friendship has been ended over that game.
Oh my gosh. Is it what I think it is?
It's Fantasy Uno, yes.
Yes! Manolo takes those like, alright, losers, who wants to play?
Calem looks at his watch, looks at his like now like discarded book of notes, and just goes, fuck it.
Eloise like looks at the cards, looks up at Manila, looks down at the cards again, and she says, "I trusted you with my hat. Why do you want to break our friendship?" And she just sounds she sounds really overly sad about a card game.
Oh.
No, he feels like kind of like, oh no, like I hurt this person's feelings. So he's like, don't worry, like we'll still be friends after this. It's just a game.
Oh, okay. And then she just grabs a card and like sits down randomly without having any idea how the game works.
D. So maybe time skip a little bit of you guys playing with cards. Probably some fantasy Monopoly because Calem has officially given up.
Poor Calem.
And it's the first day, so screw this. So we're gonna cut. The camera cuts outside a little bit as we see approaching the school some unwanted intruders. 3 blue kobolds just start like creeping up, and behind them are three humanoids, a half elf, a dwarf, and a human, and they all have bandit like attire. And the one thing that also denotes the 3 humans is they have little pins, and the pins look like this. I'll put it in the chat. It's like a beige and black pin that has a white snake with wings on it.
Oh, cool.
It's a wyvern.
And as the 3 of them like kind of meander closer, you hear the human. Well, the human says to the dwarf and half elf, like, "I want you to just circle the place. See if you can see anything valuable. This is a school for magicians. We could sell those. We could sell wands and anything like that." And the 2 nod. The kobolds look at the human. He goes, "You 3 dig underneath too. You guys are pack animals. You guys can do that." The kobolds look at each other a little offended at being called pack animals, but start digging anyway. The scene cuts now to you guys playing Fantasy Uno. I think Manolo, being the one who suggested it, probably knows the game most. So Manolo, you're about to reverse card your good friend Karrl.
He does it like in one of those animes, like a betrayal thing. Like he just says reverse and like he does this whole like anime like pose.
And Karrl had two cards left. So when it skipped Karrl's turn, like from reversing, he just like goes in complete shock. He didn't know you could do that in this game.
Eloise is patiently watching them with 30 cards in her hand.
Oh
my gosh. Damn.
And as you guys are just sitting there playing, you like Calem's ears perk up at the sound of like digging, And he goes, "Hey, shush. And I need you all to roll investigation."
What do I?
I'm not.
That is
After being shushed, Eloise starts to hear it too, and her whole demeanor changes a little bit. She gets a little more serious, and she slowly puts the cards down.
Okay, so everyone make d20 rolls and add your, I think it's intelligence. If I remember.
Oh,
Did you say intelligence?
Investigation is either intelligence or wisdom, and I need to remember which.
Investigation is
It's
intelligence.
intelligence.
Yeah,
Because I don't have a wisdom modifier.
Yes, it is intelligence, actually. Investigation is an intelligence.
Okay, I rolled a 12 in
rolled-
total.
Okay, cool.
I rolled
total,
a
it's
total 17.
Alrighty, and so it's 12, 11, and 17?
Yep.
Yeah.
So Manolo and Karrl, you guys think you hear something, you know? And you're kind of like listening for it, but Eloise, you do hear it distinctly. And more importantly, you hear footsteps from the sides of the building.
Damn.
But that was Eloise specifically with that high of a roll. What do you guys do?
Gotcha.
Eloise.
Eloise wants to cast a message to Calem.
Okay. You kind of flick
Uh,
your arm in the Calem's direction and you do that.
Basically to, without alerting the people outside, ask him, what should we do?
Calem like looks out the window, and I imagine like that cartoony scene where the three just like kind of barrel into him and look out the window too.
Eloise does it a little quietly, but yes, she does also kind of bound up.
So the three of you are staring out the window on the west side of it, right by the bookshelf, and you see a dwarven man in black robes and that pin, and he kind of is just like scanning the place. He doesn't really look out the window, but you can tell he's like looking around. Manolo specifically, I think only Manolo would know this because background and stuff. I'd like you to roll history, which is a d20 plus your wisdom. No, sorry, history is also intelligence. My bad.
It's intelligence?
Yeah.
Oh, hold on. Let me see if it makes a difference if I add my intelligence. Oh wait, no, it doesn't. In total, it's a 4.
Oof.
Yeah, it's like fuck.
You just think it's like you notice the pin, and you like point out the pin, but you don't know why. You just think it's really weird. Karrl and Karrl and Eloise, I'd also allow you to roll history, but it's going to be a bit harder for you two to know this. But
Okay, I'll roll it.
yeah, you might
Alright,
know
roll.
it just from cultural, from
I
being
rolled
in.
a 4.
Okay.
So we're rolling for history.
Yes. D20 plus your intelligence.
That's a 9.
Oh boy, all of you guys.
I rolled a
Terrible.
3.
All of you guys just don't really know. Let me roll for Calem because maybe he can explain.
Oh god.
Calem, you're our only hope.
Please.
It's sufficient. It makes a 15. He looks to all of you, sees the pin, and just like pulls your heads to the floor and just goes, "Quiet! That guy's a member of the Zentarum. They're a criminal organization. They're a spy network. I don't know what they're doing here though."
Manolo whispers to Calem, like, what would it be safe if I were to get my gun? Like, can I reach for it? Would this even hurt them?
I don't know.
Now I'm starting to think it was a bad idea to make him put all of the guns away.
Yeah, Calem, why'd you let me do that?
Maybe he should have kept like one.
Maybe.
Maybe the one in his boot.
Should I
As
like
a-
distract them so he can go get the guns?
Calem
That
looks around
sounds
and
like a
goes,
terrible idea. Let's do it.
Calem, Calem actually like takes a moment. Okay, cool. Here's what he says. I think we have a little bit of time before they make it in here. I don't really know why they're here either, though. They're probably not very good members of the Zentarum if they're showing a pin showing that they're part of the Zentarum.
Yeah, that doesn't make much sense. Why would you wear a pin for a crime organization?
And why would they
Wouldn't that get you
invade a
into a lot of
preschool?
trouble?
I don't think they're very bright.
Wouldn't that get you into a lot of trouble?
It probably
Wearing a
will.
pin for...
I mean,
She just starts kind of mumbling to herself about how they don't seem very intelligent.
but they have a little bit of time. I think we can maybe set this up. He looks at you all and just goes, okay, here's what I'm going to do. And he casts Ray of Frost on the door. And he goes, that's going to buy us a little bit of time. We have some time to set up this place and make it thief-proof. So
I'm getting my guns.
Thief-proof.
he looks at all the toys, all the books and stuff around, and just goes like, this could work. This is the part of the story where you get to home alone some people.
Nice.
Oh man.
So you have all the contents of the toy box, the beanbag chairs, the desks, anything you'd think would be in a classroom to just mess with some thieves. And your magic, and all the spells you have available to you.
What's it called? Manolo goes to Calem like, do you want them dead or you want them wounded?
Ugh.
Preferably wounded? She sounds a little afraid.
They are. He looks at Manolo and just goes like, if the Zentarum has any interest in Timshul, then maybe it's best to get any information we can out of them. I think Eloise is onto something here.
Ugh, you guys are too soft. Alright.
You can't just go around killing people.
If they're
Maybe
bad,
you can, but you can't. Well, maybe you can, but law and stuff.
you
I
gotta
mean,
check
For
your own.
weenies.
BK, do crimes!
So he starts loading up the guns, but like with like little plastic pellets. And,
I want to
removing all the
believe
real
you're
bullets.
I want to believe you've dumped the bullets into the cubby and instead are loading it with the fucking Nerf darts.
Yes.
I love it.
I love that.
Honestly, I can't think of any good traps, so I kind of just want Eloise to go wait by a window, prepared to just burn anyone who comes in.
I think I'm gonna try to do I'm gonna try to cast a minor illusion of what's the biggest size spider I can make? Do the tarantula thing. Can I do that out the window?
You want to make an illusory spider with minor illusion?
Yeah.
You probably can, yeah. Okay. Yeah, you cast minor illusion, and I'm gonna have to roll
Spell
insight
save
for
C. Investigation.
Okay. I'm gonna roll for the thief to see if they're afraid.
Oh, okay.
He rolled 13. So what your spell save is your intelligence plus your proficiency. No, in your case, your charisma. Charisma plus proficiency plus 8.
Wait,
So-
charisma plus proficiency.
Your charisma bonus, which is
I
probably
think
like
it's
plus
13.
3. Okay, so it met. So just
Yeah.
barely, he sees the spider and just goes like, "Whoa!" I think what happens is you cast the spider right on top of him, so he's scared for a second, but the spider goes right through him, and he's just like, "What?"
What the fuck?
So he's not scared; he's just confused.
Oh, okay.
What?
Eloise
Mhm.
Eloise seems to perk up with an idea, and she casts her own minor illusion, but this time near one of the windows. She kind of makes it look like there's some guard dog type wolf sitting watching them through the window with minor illusion.
Okay, so you're doing this to the other window on the other side of the room,
Yes.
the not spidered window. Okay, so I'm
Yes.
gonna roll investigation again. Pa! They got a 4. They see the thing in the window, and the guy just does the Kronk thing where they put their body up against the wall.
Is
Calem
it possible to make it growl slightly?
I'm not entirely sure, but for fun, let's say yeah. So he's like, do you hear? Actually, what probably happens is Eloise does a little growl sound,
Yeah, she goes grrr.
but because they rolled a 4, they're just like, oh, whoa.
That's hilarious.
The Calem just starts grabbing some of the jacks and putting them right by the door.
No.
Oh my gosh.
Don't forget the fantasy Legos.
Fantasy Legos. He also gives each of you guys a bouncy ball.
Oh, nice.
And just-
What color is
and
mine?
Karrl's is probably blue.
Cool.
And he hands a red one to Eloise. And he looks at Manolo and just goes like, "There's a baseball bat in the chest if you want it."
I'll have that. And he takes the baseball bat.
And he also probably gives you the baseball.
Oh, right. The baseball. Forgot about
Calem also
I totally
slaps
wasn't
him.
going to murder these
I
people
wasn't gonna
mercilessly with a toy baseball bat.
Yeah, that's.
It's like one of the it's like the yellow plastic wiffle ball bat and the white little hold wiffle ball.
Oh my god. That is
He
so
does
not
it, like-
threatening, and I love it.
This is so humiliating.
Take what you
I'm
can get.
supposed. I guess.
And
Don't be ungrateful.
You
She
also
flicks
have your
his
Nerf gun. You also have a Nerf gun on your hip, Manolo.
Oh. Oh my
Wait, is it a
God.
Nerf gun or a real gun with Nerf darts?
Yes, I think he has both. He took his real gun.
Yeah.
and
He's
also
dual
has the-
wielding.
Yeah.
We're gonna be like those cowboys and just draw.
Calem, in his final little trick, drops one of the desks on in the way, just to be in the way. And he goes, if things get real, you maybe try and knock one over on one of the feet. That could hurt.
Eloise
Also,
looks at Manolo when he cocks his fake guns and quietly tries to imitate him from earlier. It's high noon.
He lets out a little chuckle, that's pretty cool.
No.
Eloise is the hype man.
And Calem is probably, if Eloise and Manolo are staying on one side, Karrl and Calem are probably on the other.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And Calem just looks to Karrl and just goes what a hell of a first day, huh?
Oh, well,
It
we don't
was-
use those words in my house.
It was interesting. Not bad,
Thanks.
though.
Well, that's good. Well,
No, it's like, let's fuck some shit up.
Oh, well,
I guess
we
we'll call-
don't use those words in... Aw.
Stop using that language. You're going to make Karrl upset.
I'm not upset. I'm just, I'm not upset.
You sound upset.
Well,
Are you sure you're not upset?
give me 1 second.
He takes the fantasy Uno cards, and he says, "In case I need these later."
Aw,
No.
he's so cute. I love it.
Eloise just takes one single card and it ends up being a reverse card and she pockets it.
Give me 1 second and I'll be right back. Just literally 2 seconds.
Okay.
Things are starting to cut out, so I have to hop back on. Anyway,
Okay, great.
Continuing on.
Continuing on, you guys all just kind of form up by the door, and cutting back outside, the dwarf, who seems a little in a state of existential dread for just having a spider phase through them, and the half elf, who's absolutely spooked by the thing in the window. The human man sees this and just slaps one of the human ups, the half elf upside the head, just fucking go over by the door. He looks at the kobolds. You can stop digging now. We found a way through the door. The kobolds all kind of growl at him. The dwarf just goes, "Sorry, Vicbin. I didn't mean to slow you down. Just what the fuck?"
Now
And
they're using bad language too.
the human puts two little things inside the lock of the door. Just when you can hear the door opening from your side. He's just fucking frozen shut. What the hell? Looks at the kobolds. Do something about it. The kobolds just start scratching at the ice. He's whatever. And kind of pushes the door a bit. And he, the door swings just a little touch open.
Can I cast Mage Hand and just lock it again?
Oh my god, yes. So as he tries to open the
Please
door,
do.
wait a second, I know what happens. The door swings open. Karrl, you cast Mage Hand. The door, like, the Mage Hand just fucking pushes the door into the human face. And I'm gonna need you to make an attack roll. So roll a d20 and
Wait,
just
an
add,
attack roll?
yeah, just roll a d20 and add
You're attacking them with the door.
with the door. Just roll a d20 and add your, I guess, dexterity. Makes sense because you're using it.
Dexterity. Okay, so that's a 14.
Okay. It's about that time, folks. I'm gonna whip open the monster manual, flip all the way to the back for the NPC stat blocks, and let's see how this goes. Bandit, 14, that does hit. So now roll me a d8 for door damage.
D8 for door damage. Do I add anything to it?
Door damage is the best
Yep.
damage.
Do I add anything?
I guess just your dex again.
Oh, so that's an 8.
Oof. This half elf, just like who was opening the door, just gets sent flying back, and he's already like bleeding a bit.
Oh no!
Oh my gosh.
And the two other, like, the human and dwarf look at him just like, the fuck, Jandak? He's like, oh fuck. The dwarf just goes like, I had enough of this. Takes his scimitar and just like starts like hitting the door with the blunt end of it, and the door swings open and pouring in. Actually, first of all, roll stealth, everybody.
Okay.
Ooh,
Can I,
This
instead
is how
of rolling,
well-hidden you guys are.
instead of rolling stealth, can I have Eloise scream out, "Get out!" and like just shoot a firebolt at all of them?
You can. I'm gonna say that switches things from stealth to initiative.
Is a stealth a D20?
Yeah.
Oh, so I
Eloise,
rolled
roll
a
initiative.
21.
Karrl, you are an unseen shadow of the night, as is Calem. Manolo, are you gonna try and stealth, or are you gonna like face this head on?
Yeah, I got an 18.
Okay, so you're for stealth, or
Yeah, yourself.
okay. So yeah, you guys are hidden, but Eloise is shouting "Get out!" and throws a firebolt.
In pure panic, she just straight up attacks.
Okay, roll a d20 and add your spell attack bonus.
Okay. That was a natural 20.
Okay, so this is good.
So,
Who are you hitting?
I don't even need to add the bonus.
Who are you hitting? There's 3 kobolds.
Whoever just like opened the door, I think it was the dwarf.
Okay.
He's going to be hit.
Okay. So roll. Firebolt is a D10, but since it's a crit, roll 2 D10s.
2d10s. Oh my god. Pure anger. That is 10.
Okay. The dwarf is shot back with his fire, and is also bleeding profusely from that one hit.
After Eloise does that, she kind of just stares in shock at the door for a second, and then looks down at her hands, and then looks at the door, and then she goes, "Oh shit."
Eloise,
Yes.
roll a d20 for initiative.
Okay. That's a 4.
Okay, add your dex.
That is now a 7.
Okay. Karrl and Manolo, you guys are still hiding, so we'll resolve you guys first. What are you guys gonna do from your hiding spots?
I am going to cast Tasha's Hideous Laughter on, I think maybe the half elf, or maybe the human. I'm gonna cast. Is the human there? Can I like? The range is
Yeah.
30 feet.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. The human is like in the door frame.
Alright, I'm gonna cast Tasha's Hideous Laughter on the human. Let me roll for that.
Hideous Laughter is a saving throw on my end, I think.
Oh, okay.
If
Yeah,
this works,
let me
Reef,
check.
I love you. If this works.
Oh, let me think of a song. What are some songs kids know on the recorder?
Let's
go with
Fuck,
Twinkle
it's been
Twinkle Little
so
Star.
long.
Okay, yeah. You played
That
Twinkle
is
Twinkle
perfect
Little
for
Star.
Tasha's hideous laughter.
Yeah.
What's your spell save DC?
13?
Human got an 8.
Oh, wow.
So
Nice.
So
Cool.
what happens is Twinkle Twinkle Little Star starts playing, and just to retcon something, there's like Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, how I wonder what you. Boom! The dwarf gets hit by a fucking firebolt, and it starts falling back. And just like that together, and the magic of your hideous laughter makes this human just fucking fall on his hands and knees and start cracking up. The dwarf and the half elf look at themselves like bleeding and not in a good state. Look at the kobolds and like point their fingers inside. And so the 3 kobolds fucking make it in there.
Oh no, these poor kobolds.
So as these kobolds march in, because no one has made it into the door yet, this hasn't resolved. So the first kobold steps inside, and they're gonna need to make a dex save for fucking Jax.
Yes! The jacks. I forgot about those.
That's a 10. I'm gonna make that a d6 of damage. That is 4 points of damage on the kobold. This kobold steps on the Jax and just screams and just starts like hopping on one foot, the other foot having a jack in it.
Oh no.
The other 2 kobolds see this and are gonna try and like jump over the Jax. Kobold number 2 is gonna take a shot at jumping over the Jax. They actually do that. Kobold number 3 rolled a 3, so they're gonna jump. They're gonna jump and land right in the center of the Jax for another 4 points of damage. So these 2 kobolds are now like jumping in the Jax, just like ah, ah, ah.
Oh my gosh.
As the one kobold is like, I made it in. I did it.
Eloise, being the only one they can actually see right now, just kind of flinches like, ow, it hurts.
Manolo, what did you want to do?
He wants to go ahead and shoot the kobold that's next to Eloise.
The one that made it in?
Yeah.
Okay, so roll a d20 and add your dex to that. Are you shooting with your actual gun or with your Nerf gun?
No, my Nerf gun.
Okay.
I'm not gonna,
I mean, like,
not gonna
your actual
kill
gun has
them.
your actual gun has Nerf bullets, but like, do you want to shoot with like a real looking gun, or do you want like to use the plastic orangey one?
The realistic one, but
Okay. So
to
your
look
real gun
intimidating at least.
Yeah, your real gun loaded with Nerf. You fire it, and yeah. So then, in that case, roll d20, add your dex and your proficiency because this is a weapon you know.
Hey.
I now have to consider Nerf dart damage, which hurts my soul a little bit.
Hold on, my phone's real slow. What do I have to add again?
Just your dex and your proficiency, which is +2.
Hold on, I'm trying. My phone's loading for.
Just add your dex bonus and add 2 to that.
3. It's a 10, like all in total.
Okay, let me see how much. If that hits this kobold,
I hope so.
I'm not entirely sure. Because that is middle of the road. I know kobolds are weak, but I don't know if they're that weak. Yeah, no, it bounces and it does not hit this kobold, unfortunately. But you have revealed yourself, Manolo, so you can roll for initiative. Karrl, you are the only one still hidden. What are you going to do? Calem gave you one of the bouncy balls.
I'm gonna throw
You
the
have-
bouncy ball at one of the kobolds who was like jumping around in the jacks.
Okay, so roll a d20. Add your as much as this sucks. I know strength isn't your best stat, but as a bard. But that makes sense. You're
What's
using
my
your strength to fucking yeet this ball.
Okay, so that's a 10.
Okay. I was gonna say because they're like jumping around and not noticing you, you could roll with advantage.
Oh, okay. I'm going to roll again.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a nat 20.
Nice.
I could roll a
Wow.
nat 20 for.
So
At least mine was for an actual attack.
you've crit on the plastic bouncy ball throw. So I've written
It's a
here
hard-ass
bouncy balls
bouncy
are
ball.
D6. So roll 2d6 bouncy ball damage.
2d6
Oh my
bouncy ball
God.
damage.
Wow.
Please get 12 damage.
It's a 9.
Oh, that's so good.
You smack this kobold in like the brim of the snout with a bouncy ball,
Mm-hmm.
and like that's enough to daze it. Because spoiler alert, it was at 1 hit point.
I throw it non-lethally, by the way.
Oh, I don't think there's a way you can kill someone with a bouncy ball. You beat it on the brim of this kobold's nose, and like it tips over and falls, and its body lands in the tracks.
Oh no!
So the other kobold sees this, looks over at you, Karrl, like readies a sling, but this ball does bounce. So I'd like you to roll without advantage this time.
Mm-hmm.
Just another d20 roll to see if the ball bounces and whacks the other kobold upside the jaw.
Nope, it was a 9.
Ah.
What happens instead is like it misses, hits the side of the wall, and just starts like bouncing on the floor and out the door.
Is my mage hand still like is that still a thing? Is it still going on?
Let's say yeah.
I grab the bouncy ball with my mage hand and I like put it under the desk.
Okay,
Oh, do I need to roll initiative now?
probably yeah. Manolo, what did you get?
Oh, I got a 15.
Okay, that's really good.
I rolled a
Sweet.
9 for initiative.
All
You
you
still
guys,
did better than me.
all you guys rocked really good rolls there. Okay, so first up in the order is Manolo. There is 2 kobolds, and outside the door, 2 bandits who are like nursing their wounds, and one is in hysterics.
The one that isn't damaged yet, I'm gonna go ahead and beat them with the bat. Like just not like what is it called?
The kobolds or
Violently.
the bandits?
Oh wait.
There's
Wait,
like
who
there's 2 damaged kobolds in the room, and outside are
Uh-huh.
2 bandits nursing their wounds, and one on the floor laughing.
Oh. No, I'm going for the kobolds.
Okay, so roll a d20 to hit, and just add your strength because you're rolling to whack.
Why must you do this to me, dice? Oh.
What did you get? Stellar. Oh, they went mute.
The power of editing, folks.
You got an 8? Yeah, no, you swing the bat, and the kobold manages to dodge. Karrl, you're up next.
Okay, I'm going to. Where am I right now in the classroom?
You are in like the east side. The west side. The east is where Manolo and Eloise are, and you're kind of at the corner of the wall. And
Like near the toy chest?
Yeah, probably. Yeah, that makes sense.
I guess I throw the beholder. Wait, is the beholder like in the toy chest?
I
Or
think
does Eloise still have the beholder?
that's Eloise. That's up to Eloise.
It's probably still on the floor from when she dropped it.
Okay.
Alright, so I pick up the beholder and I guess I'm gonna try to throw it out the door. like as sort of a distraction.
Okay. Roll a d20 to do that.
That was a 15.
So you fling this little plushy beholder outside. And while I'll roll for the kobolds, but do you think it hits any of the bandits?
I think it like lands at the feet of one of them, and then the human's still laughing. So like,
Yeah.
I feel like.
Well,
Please
okay,
let
let's
it
see.
land in front of the human and have him start laughing harder.
Yes,
see.
I love that.
Let me see something. Actually, you
Mhm.
said you had a 15, yeah?
Yeah.
Because the dwarf is still right by the door. So if their AC is higher than 15, then that's what happens. If it's lower, I'm gonna say you get to roll. You get to roll d4 plushy damage.
Okay.
Oh my
Their
god.
AC is 12.
Oh wow.
So the force you have thrown this plushie at is
I
enough to
rolled a
like
4.
win. What is
Are
this?
you
What is
kidding
this?
me?
I'm not
The
kidding.
dwarf.
I rolled a 4 on plushie damage.
The
Oh
dwarf,
no.
like
It makes a
the
really
dwarf.
loud squeak.
Yeah, the dwarf at 1 HP just like sees this beholder coming and just goes like, "What?" Boom! And just falls over unconscious onto the floor. And the beholder lets out a tiny squeak and lands next to them. The half elf looks at the human and is like, "They're creaming us. What do we do?" And the human's just laughing really hard.
I think Eloise is snirking a little bit in the background.
So that there goes bandit number 3. So there's now one bandit who's nursing their wound, the one who's laughing very hard, and 2 kobolds. And with that, it is Eloise's turn, who is tied with bandit number 1, but they're going to go second. So Eloise, what do? You have a bouncy ball from Calem, you have your spells, and you have like anything else in the classroom.
I want Eloise to run out the door slightly so she can see the bandit nursing his wounds and try to hit him upside the forehead with a bouncy ball.
Okay, so you do that. You manage to like not step on the jacks because that kobold is laying there. So you step on the kobold instead.
He lets out a small oof.
And that one other kobold is like in the way, so he's gonna get opportunity. So he's gonna try and like fling a rock at you. He rolled a 2, so he slings it at the wall. You just like narrowly dodge because of your
Well,
cowboy
that's
hat
not
now.
very nice.
And you manage to get right up to the half elf bandit's face. He's just like, "Hey, who are you?" Boom. So roll with dex. Roll an attack roll with your dex there. No, it's with strength because you're lobbing it at him.
Okay, I want to say if I get a high roll on this, please make it go into his mouth like an apple would go into a pig's. Ah, damn it. That's a 5.
It bounces off the side of him, and he's like, "What the?"
She looks really, like, sternly at him as she throws it, but doesn't say anything.
It is that bandit's turn. So he's gonna like look at you, not really sure what to do. She's gonna like try and like grab you. So we're gonna see how well that goes. I rolled a 1. So here's what happens. The ball bounces in the air like sky high when it misses, yeah? And the bandit like is about to like grab at you, Eloise. And he's like grabbed by your long dress. It's about to pull you towards him. And from the sky comes a little red bouncy ball. And because he rolled a 1, it just beams off the top of his head. So I'd like to roll a d6.
Oh my god, okay. That's a 3.
He falls to the floor unconscious.
Oh my god! Eloise just looks completely stunned.
So it's just like you see it hit his head, bounce off, and like one of those cartoon welts grow on the top of this half elf's head. Just, ooh.
Eloise looks up to the sky and quietly says to herself, God does exist.
There's only one bandit left, laughing his head off, and 2 kobolds inside. The kobolds, one of them is still jumping in the jacks, so I'm going to roll to see how we do there. 15. So he manages to get out of the jacks. Just you know. And he's going to sling a rock at Manolo for trying to shoot him. He rolled a 4, so that's fine.
Woo!
And this other kobold's going to try and sling a rock at Karrl. And he rolled a 6, so it's fine. So these 2 kobolds sling rocks at both sides and probably break a window each time. So back to the top of the order, Manolo.
Alright, what are left again?
There's 2 kobolds. That's it.
Oh, okay. Then I'll try shooting them again. And then a fire, and then I'm a miss.
I will say, as one of the kobolds gets out of the jacks, he's the one laying. Jeffrey, no!
Damn it. I did fire, and I missed. It was a 1.
You fire this Nerf dart, and it hits Calem in the back of the head.
Oh, shit.
Oh, no.
And he's trying to pull it out of his hair. You know how Nerf darts get. He's trying to pull it out of his hair.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, dude.
He looks so shocked. He says, I missed.
Oh, no.
Oh, he ate a popsicle.
And then he ate a popsicle. I missed. He's not very
Karrl,
devastated about this.
Karrl, you're up next. There's 2 kobolds left.
And that was the day that Eloise started believing God and Melania lost his belief.
There's 2 kobolds left, and they've thrown rocks at you at this.
What is, I just have a question before I do anything.
Sure.
What is the wisdom stat of these kobolds?
Not great. I can't give you exact numbers, but I can promise you, worse than the average person.
They're kobolds.
How long do you live? 11 days!
Spurt!
I'm going to charm person on the less damaged one.
Okay. You do that. Let me make a wisdom save.
Yeah.
Rolled an 8, minus 2, that is 6.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So this kobold looks at you and is just like, whoa, hey friend, I'm sorry. And the other kobold looks at him and just goes, no, wait, this is what happened to Richard!
Richard!
He's like, Richard went off to become a pirate, Ken. Richard went off to become a pirate, John the 57th. It's like, Kenneth, what are you doing?
Pirate lass.
Kenneth, what are you doing? I just feel this inexplicable urge for this Dragonborn boy to become my new best friend. Hi, new best friend, I'm Kenneth.
Hi, I'm Karrl.
Whoa, our names both start with K. That's so weird.
That's so cool. How did you know that? Because it can also be spelled with a C.
I'm just guessing. I'm trying to make connections because I want you to be my.
It does start with a K.
Wow, that's so cool.
Friend.
I'm just trying to make up things. I wasn't really sure. Karrl is usually spelled with a C, but I wanted to believe it was spelled with a K because my name starts with a K. It's like fate that we're best friends if our names start with K. And John the 57th looks at Kenneth. Is like, what the fuck?
Is it still my turn?
That was your action. You still have your movement if you'd like to use it.
Okay, that was my action. What can I do? I'm gonna cast... Can I cast Thunderwave at the human who's laughing on the floor?
That is another action spell, so on your next turn you can.
Okay,
The bonus action spell that you have is Healing Word, but no one's really been damaged.
Alright, would it be possible to run up to the human and sort of just bonk him on the head with my recorder?
You can run up to him. but
Okay.
I'm gonna say that you like hold the recorder up and ready.
I'll do that.
Yeah, on your next action, you can actually hit him with it.
Okay.
Dramatic pause.
Yeah. Eloise, you're up. The half elf is unconscious. There's one kobold who seems inexplicably charmed by Karrl, and one kobold who's like dropped his sling is looking at Kenneth, just like, what the fuck? And one.
I'm going to Eloise misinterprets the situation with the kobold as the one being nice has turned to their side and the other one is trying to in some way harm Karrl.
Mhm.
So Eloise is going to run up to the one she thinks is harming Karrl, which is the not charmed one, and use Burning Hands.
Oof. Okay, what save do I have to make? X, yeah?
Yes. So,
13,
just roll for dex.
13, 15.
I got a 17.
Well, it would be your spell save DC.
Oh, that's a 13 then.
So it will only take half damage of the burning hands. So that's gonna be. Give me one second.
Okay, so I roll 3d6 for Burning Hands.
Yeah. Okay. So roll 3d6, and when you tell me the number, we'll. But considering this is a kobold,
Whew.
it'll be more than enough.
Okay, so I just got a 17.
Let's make that an 8. And I'd like you to know that at base, kobolds have 5 HP.
She was very upset.
So Eloise casts the spell. Fire comes from your hands, and this kobold is team rocketed by the jets of fire outside the building. And just like, looks like it's time for John the 50.
Don't mess with Eloise's friends. Lesson learned.
Oh.
The little ding sound effect happens as he becomes a star,
Mm-hmm.
Editors, please add that in.
And there's just one bandit laughing in hysterics still, and your one kobold who is now charmed by you, Karrl. And
Nice.
I'm gonna say you're out. Checks.
Hello?
Hello? Yeah?
Sorry, you were cutting out there a little bit.
Oh, okay. I'm just gonna check something real quick about time.
Oh, okay.
Just to see when the show off. At the end of each turn, damage.
You're cutting out again.
Okay, hold on. Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna roll one more wisdom saving throw. See if it breaks out of the laughter.
Okay.
I rolled a 9. It's probably it.
I think it's 13. I'm gonna double check.
Yeah.
It's a 13.
You can. Yeah, the 9 would. He's still laughing.
Okay, great.
So Calem sees this opportunity, and as the guy is just laughing, he sits him on one of the tiny desk chairs and uses a stone of far speech. Said a few minutes. 2 of the town guard, a dwarven man and a half-orc man, just like walk up with manacles, get the guy in them, and walk him out. And he's just laughing the whole time.
What did you do to this person?
And Calem just kind of sighs, looks at the kobold, and looks at Karrl, and just goes like, "What are we gonna do with him? The charm person spell only lasts an hour."
And then Karrl says, I'll befriend him so that way it won't even matter.
Okay. Roll persuade. You know what? Not on Calem. You look at Kenneth the kobold, and he's just like, "Whoa. Okay. What do you do to make Kenneth your real friend?"
I offer the deck of Fantasy Uno cards.
He looks at them for a moment and just goes, I've never played before. Can you teach me?
Yeah, I can teach you how to play.
Whoa, okay. And he sits down, and after the hour, he's still playing Uno, because even though I have charm, he's still caught up in the game, and he's looking at all of you, and he just goes, my name's Kenneth. I'm a kobold. My little nest of kobolds was the ones that Prince Calem's friends fought during the Frost Curse. But we're trying to get better from that sickness now. My friend, the guy who's unconscious in the jacks right now, was our leader. We were working with those Zentarum guys because they offered us food. But this place looks like it has food. So this seems like an absolute win. He kind of like looks over at Calem to see if there's food. And Calem just is like, I can bring you some food. Oh, that's cool. I've never really lived outside of the nest before, so maybe I could get like a shirt instead of just like this loincloth. Calem's like, yeah, I'm sure we can work something out. He looks over to Karrl and just goes like, would you mind if I like stick around here in class, best friend?
Yeah, absolutely. Go for it. Karrl is gonna go into like the preschool Lost and Found, and get like, I don't know, a shirt that would, like a preschooler shirt that would be in the Lost and Found, maybe.
That for a kobold, it might be a little tight, but definitely at the right length.
In the background of this happening, Eloise just kind of stares at Kenneth for a second before looking at Calem with like a kind of disappointed look, and she said, I thought you said this game breaks friendships, not makes them.
Aw.
Calem looks and just goes, I guess you guys are a special case. And Kenneth
Maybe
is kind of,
Karrl is.
Kenneth puts a shirt on, looks at himself, and it's probably, hold on, I know what I have to do. Let me just roll something really fast. It's a t-shirt that says like Faerun Book Club, and it looks like it's like an all throughout Faerun thing, you know? And it's a t-shirt that has there's a stuffed there's a stuffed owl bear in there on the image, and it just says like, reading is a big hoot.
Aww.
And
I love it.
and and underneath it says like in tiny text, licensing for Corduroy the owl bear, all rights reserved.
Oh my goodness.
And Kenneth looks at the shirt and just goes, whoa. I've never really read a real book before. Calem looks at him and just goes, well, there's some in that bookshelf for a young reading level. He goes, oh, okay. And he takes out a fairy tale called The Ugly Hippogriff and starts reading it. And Calem just like blinks, looks at the unconscious kobold, and like uses like a levitation spell to push him out into the city street, out of the classroom. He just goes, you guys can have some lunch for the rest of the day. I'm going to be sweeping this stuff up. And he starts cleaning. And you guys play Uno together. And that is all for the session. But before we go, one final thing. For the remainder of the school year, you guys would be together with Kenneth. So just a quick final question before we close out. In the weeks and months to come, how would you guys like develop? Like, what would be your guys like friendly dynamic in class?
I mean, I just think it's really cool that like these two kids who are older than me like are my friends, and I just think they're so cool.
Oh, so you're just like always like ready to hang out with your new friends?
Yeah.
And Kenneth, who just adores you.
Eloise starts to feel less self-conscious about being in this class now that she has people that she gets along with. Karrl taught her hot cross buns on a recorder. That is a definite. And Magnola, she probably just puts her hat on him constantly with no real explanation as to why she does it. And she actually has these kind of sash things on her dress, and I like to think that she took one off and gave it to Kenneth as a scarf.
Oh, fancy kobold lad.
For
What about
Manolo, he's a bit of a loner. Like, he doesn't like getting comfortable with people, like not making too much friends, but he'll make an exception for these two. Like, in the inside, he wants friends.
So you three would remain in Calem's tutelage, and the rest of the days, probably by the end of the first week, he's much more comfortable with people at this age and not, little kids. The little kid books are still there, more so for Kenneth. Now, but all of you guys now have older books, and you actually start learning some spells. And yeah, that is it. Thank you guys for playing along with us.
Thank you for DMing for us.
Yeah, thank you so much for inviting me.
I
This
hope you
was
guys had
so
fun.
much fun. And I honestly, when you first invited me, I got super excited and happy, and it was very sweet, and I was just very very happy. And this went so well, and I'm even happier now, and now my face is heating up.
Oh, well, before we go for the night, is there anywhere the lovely people listening can find you guys? Yeah, that you want to plug anything last second?
Sure, I'm on Instagram at ReefShark54, and I'm definitely going to be drawing some of the scenes from this because I love this so much.
Me too. On Instagram, you can find me, and it's intellectual _ homosexual.
Love that.
Very great name. And I'm on YouTube as Satori. It's SAT0RII.
And Stellar, you've been on the show before, but
Yes,
is there anywhere people can find you?
You know where to find me. In the dark abyss. No, I'm just kidding. You can find me at Luminous Stellar. It is for my Instagram and Twitter.
Just going to casually follow you both in the background.